Yo, what's good YouTube? My name is Laze and welcome back to your once a year upload. I am right and everybody else is wrong. Nah, I'm kidding, but for real, I want to talk about a topic that is really buzzing right now, and that's how we can save the lovely game mode known as bedwars. Now, a bunch of YouTubers have made videos on this topic, Trainer Dario, Joe Pig, and Vase, of course, and all these videos are actually really great. They pose a lot of interesting, creative, unique, and actually, quite smart ideas. However, I don't think they're concrete solutions, and I see a few flaws in their proposal. I think they all fundamentally understand that there is a big problem with bedwars, but they don't understand exactly what that is and what the solution is. And I just want to throw in my 2 cents, give my opinion on what the real issue and problem is and how we can actually reach a solution. Let's get down to the center of the issue. Bedwars. It sucks. Okay, actually for real, the main problem with bedwars is the casual component of it, or lack of casual component. Let's look at video games just like in a vacuum. Multiplayer video games isolated and why some are successful. Look at the most popular multiplayer video games with the largest player bases. Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike, Valorant, Fortnite. Games like this. Why are they popular? 2 big reasons: community and accessibility. Fortnite, Counter-Strike, and Valorant are all free games, extremely easy to jump into and have many options for your casual player base. Of course, people go yada 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 and talk about ranked and things of that nature, but I'll get to that later. One of the most important things when it comes to online multiplayer video games is accessibility. If people can't download the game easily, get into a match, start playing with friends, and start actually becoming invested in the game, then they never will. If they have to jump through all these hoops and hurdles just to get into a match, and when they get into a match, it's actually not fun at all and extremely difficult for them, they're not gonna stick around and learn the game's mechanics. I mean, why would you? It's so easy for people to get on games like Fortnite and try it out for the first time with a bunch of their boys. The game is free, the game puts you in skill-based lobbies,
which, let me tell you a little secret here, are always filled with bots on your very first game, so you're pretty much guaranteed to win.
And feel that rush and excitement and get addicted to the game that is Fortnite. The game is just really easy to slot in for a new player and start playing these more casual game modes. And all these other games also have that aspect as well. Rainbow Six Siege has standard and quick play. Quick play, you can literally leave anytime you want and there's literally no penalty. Valorant has Spike Rush, CS2 has Deathmatch. These are all casual game modes, which the hardcore gamer who, has his headset up at max volume so he can hear any single sneeze or cough across the entire map. Is not going to care about these casual game modes. It's so important because the majority of your player base is casuals. And for a game to be successful and continue, thriving, it needs to appeal to those casuals. Believe it or not, the hardcore audience isn't really who the major company wants to appeal to, because there are much more casual, average, everyday players just getting on, playing a few of these casual games, than there are people just sweating out ranked for hundreds of hours at a time just to get Silver 3 again. The majority of players need this casual experience, and bedwars currently is miserable for the casual. So let's break down the experience as a casual bedwars player. Okay, first, you have to understand 1.8 PvP, which is already like a really obtuse concept and not easily accessible. In no other video game during combat are you required to click as fast as humanly possible while holding extremely precise aim and using this really actually in-depth movement system with sprint resetting and minor strafing, having very different effects on combat. For a new player, the concept of 1.8 PvP is absolutely insane. Imagine trying to introduce your boy to 1.8 who has never played the game before. He's like,
okay, so what do? I just swing my...
No, so you gotta do this method where you vibrate your hand in a way that clicks like 12 times per second, and that's on the lower end, but we'll start you out on that. And then you gotta aim at him, and when he gets hit, you have to press W. And also, maybe you should be on a client as well. The rabbit hole is expanding infinitely outwards in front of your friend, and they're falling in. This is an endless pit, okay? All I'm saying is, it's not super easy or intuitive of a game to get into. And all of this is hypothetical. They haven't even entered the game yet. So let's say they get on Hypixel, they figure out how the menu system works, whatever, and they get into an actual solo bedwars match, okay? Since the player base is relatively small, I mean, it's not bad, but it's pretty small, the majority of people who are still playing online right now are sweats. They're like goated at the game, dude. They can play it with 2 keyboards and 14 mice while their hands are tied behind their back and they're doing a backflip off the Eiffel Tower. And your friend, let's call him Bob here, goes into his first Bed Wars game, doesn't build a bed defense, is looking around trying to understand what this iron, gold, and diamonds, all this stuff does, and doesn't really understand the shop or diamond upgrades. He has no ideas what that is. What is minor protection, bro? It sounds like something you need when Drake's around. So while Bob is like, messing around with trying to understand these like 15 different systems that he just got introduced to, the sweat is going to destroy him on first rush because he has no bed defense and it's game over. And that was his first game and it lasted in 10 seconds. Like, I've been yapping longer than the match would actually go for. So let's bring it all back. Why would you ever want to play this game as a new player? Pretty much zero reason, right? And for a lot of people who aren't that good at the game, myself included, I'm hot garbage, it's pretty hard to play the game and not get absolutely smoked by my opponents. So it's pretty clear what the problem is. There needs to be more players in order for there to be an, average skill level so that everyone is in, a game that more matches their abilities, right? But hold up, let's pause for a second. That means the solution to not having a lot of players is getting more players. This is like an Ouroboros of problems. Like, it just keeps repeating itself, never reaching a solution in the end. So what are my ideas in basically trying to bring as many new players in as possible? Well, of course, a new content update would bring people back to the game, but I think there's actually some other more easy things that they can do. They need to consolidate a large majority of the Bed Wars player base. There are too little players for this many game modes. I worry that Trainer Dario's solution of introducing a 1.20 Bed Wars game mode will fracture the already fractured community, meaning that it doesn't, revive the game. Instead, divides the already small-ish community into smaller subsections, thus being even less players in each individual game mode. I do think a 1.20 mode would be a really great idea in getting new players in the door, but I worry that you need to have a already established group of people who enjoy playing the game for new players to be willing to get on, because all I'm saying is the 1.20 game mode also opens the door for 1.20 sweats, and I think that the skill gap between players in 1.20 can be even bigger than 1.8. Like, sure, really good 1.8 players will always be able to combat bad 1.8 players, but in 1.20 you can just get evaporated if you don't know what you're doing, and really good players, like top tier players, can make it so that you can't even get a hit on someone else. And I worry that if the community gets smaller and even more fractured, that less people are going to want to play regardless. So at the end of the day, what is the real solution here? Maybe some of you guys can propose ideas in the comments, but here's one I have. It's pretty extreme, so I am totally open to your guys' suggestions or flaming me in the comments for this take, but I think we need a casual and a ranked. Sure, this does fracture the community a bit, as I mentioned previously, but we consolidate every other game mode. No lucky block, no castle, even though it's fun, because we can't have these game modes function if no one's playing them in the first place, right? So we have casual, we have 1s, and we have 4s. That's it. Then we have ranked. Keep it ranked Bed Wars style, 4s only. That's it. 3 game modes, at least until the community starts building itself back up. Once it reaches new heights and has a large enough player base, you can then start adding back in these more fringe game modes that people tend to enjoy. Now, it does suck that ranked has to be only 4s, right? But if you think about it, in games like Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike, and Valorant, all these games that are really praised for their competitive and esports aspect to it, you have to play with 5 people. And of course you can solo queue, but people don't complain that, oh, I can't play solo Rainbow Six Siege, right? And ranked Bed Wars as a team game is much more interesting often than the solo ranked aspect of it. Of course, if there's ample demand, maybe a 1s game mode is in the cards, but I'm trying to keep it like as the bare minimum as possible of game modes so that the most people are in each game mode, right? It's just simple math. If you have 3,000 players, have to divide them over 8 games, it's going to be a lot less than dividing 3,000 players over 3 games. Then it boosts the amount of players in each game mode, thus boosting the amount of different skill levels in each game and keeping the casuals in the casual side. So people who are new to the game, just learning the mechanics, can get into the game much more easily. And of course, the sweats get their nice little ranked game and something to work towards and grind, get some elo, rank up, post on socials, things of that nature. And this will play perfectly into the second part of what is needed to have any successful online multiplayer game, and that is community. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, any social media presence of people posting the game, creating a community, talking with people on Discord, and just generally generating content and interest around the game will exponentially increase your player base and keep people playing the game for years to come. Even if we get no content updates from Hypixel, a game can still live on because it's fun and has a great community. Look at Team Fortress 2. It's a game that's been around for 17 years and didn't get a single content update for 5 years, yet in 2023 still beat its all-time player record of 253,000 online players at once because the community is just so strong. If you know anything about TF2, their community is insane. TF2 creators are consistently creating insanely high quality content, whether that be through the animation engine directly tied in with the game, Source Filmmaker, or it's through its community trading system, its inventories, its unfortunate loot boxes. It's just always got some aspect of the community going on, and that's not even delving into the crazy stuff they've done on TF2 community servers. Alright, so I went kind of on a tangent about TF2, but why does this matter to bedwars? Well, separating the games into the idea of the casual and the ranked will inherently generate a lot of content, and Vase mentioned this before in his video. If a ranked game mode was added, so many content creators who are good at the game will get on the game and start making content just grinding elo. And while I said that the most important audience is the casual audience, the competitive, the ranked players are the players creating the content that will get the casual audience invested in the game. Jinxie is one of the most popular creators out right now, and he's a competitive Rainbow Six Siege player. He's playing at a much higher level than anybody else on the Xbox platform or the majority of Rainbow Six Siege players. But it's his personality and skill at the game that's bringing in a new casual audience and letting Rainbow Six Siege hit new peaks in player count, all because Jinxie is creating such engaging content that he's making new people want to play Rainbow Six Siege. And the thing about the changes I proposed is that they're not even difficult to make. Hypixel can very easily create a little ranked thing. They've already done it before with ranked Skywars, so it's not out of their wheelhouse, and it's not a major content update. It's not maps, it's not some new balancing. They don't have to do anything crazy. And on top of that, ranked bedwars is already a game mode that's pre-established. If they just work with those people, they can very easily add this. It's a completely feasible idea that doesn't take very many developers, many big changes. It's just, consolidate 2 casual game modes, 1s and 4s, and a ranked game mode of only 4s, and that's it. And I think from there, people are not going to like it at first. Obviously people are kind of adverse to change, and I think there's probably a better solution out there. But I think it's such an easy change that has the potential to, really bring back interest in the game. Additionally, I think Hypixel really needs to work on things for players to work towards. For example, in games like Rainbow, people grind for rank or completing the battle pass, and in Fortnite they also grind to complete the battle pass and get wins. The thing about bedwars is that, a Fortnite win is 1v100, right? So a win is much more gratifying and something to work towards. But a win in bedwars is kind of dime a dozen. It happens pretty often if you're, playing the game often enough. And there's really not much to work towards instead of just getting your stars number up. But what if there was some other thing you could grind for, something that you could work to achieve with your boys, and it would actually keep you engaged with the game? I feel like having a free battle pass where you have to complete certain challenges or complete certain quests, get a certain amount of experience to earn really cool cosmetics could be a big motivator to get people keep coming back to the game and playing every single week, right? They've tried introducing a similar thing where they, rotate these items in the item shop, which is kind of cool, but You play with them for 2 games and then you're like, alright, I'm done, I'm not going to use them anymore. So a battle pass would give you something to work towards and actively play to unlock everything. You could have special name tags for people who play ranked in their final kill message where it shows what rank they are. And it's an item that players could flex and actively grind for each season to try to get that very elusive, rank tag. It's the same way that in Rainbow you have little charms for each rank, and like the champion charm is extremely desirable because it's such a flex to say I'm in this top 2% of the player base. Furthermore, they could have weekly quests where if you're the top for final kills at the end of the week, you get this exclusive bed break or something like that. It's just they need something to get players coming back consistently, and it doesn't need to be gameplay changes. It could be purely cosmetic. These players will work for a lot of superficial things that if they think look cool, they'll definitely do it. Bed Wars is a game mode I used to really enjoy and play almost every single day with my friends. I truly hope for nothing but success for the Bed Wars community and hypixel. I really had a lot of fun making this video, just rambling about ideas that I think would improve Bed Wars. So if you have any of your own, please leave them in the comment section below. I would really love to hear them. And that's all about it. Go ahead and subscribe if you want some more rambly content. And have a wonderful day. And I'll see you, hopefully not in a year. I'll hopefully have another video after this. Alright, y'all have a good one. Peace.